But let's move into our favorite topic. We are talking about the dampest of dudes, the soggiest of shooters, the moistest of men. These are our wet boys. These are the guys that absolutely popped off in the past week, had historic performances, insane stat lines, just things that were absolutely memorable. There was an insane amount of candidates. We have a lot of honorable mentions, but we have the three that stood up, in our opinion, above the rest. And Ricky Widmer, you're going to start off with your typical Chicago Bull pick.
Well, I mean, way to spoil it, but also I got a little story time. First off, honorable mention D. Wade. I wanted to pick you so badly, but I couldn't.
Hey,
because
who did D. Wade play for?
Played for the Bulls.
Oh,
also played for the Miami Heat. Who's
honestly,
on right now.
I want to do a study into your wet boys, and I think like
most of them are Bulls and Warriors.
I think 90% to 95% have either played for the Bulls, are Chicago Bulls, or the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, probably. But this is a wet boy that I called. Let's say last Saturday we recorded the podcast. Dave and I went out to dinner. We are sitting in the kind of waiting area, waiting to get a table, watching Bulls Celtics.
Yeah.
And I texted the group chat and I said, Zach LaVine is my wet boy. He did not let me down, Sean. Not only did he have a 40-plus game against the Celtics in a win.
He had an 11-point game against the Grizzlies.
I was going to say, he had a clunker against the Bucks, but it was the Bucks, and we only lost by 11. No, the Grizzlies, he had a 30-point game, and then 47 in the quadruple overtime spectacular
only 47.
Against Trae Young and the Bulls. Dude, their legs were tired, and you could tell.
I'm sorry. Only 47's a thing I can say because my wet boy.
He also was high flying, jet flying, styling and profiling. Woo!
Yeah, that's 6 points a quarter. Great wet boy.
Zach LaVine, you my wet boy. Shout out to the Bulls.
I love Zach LaVine, so I'm just taking shots at this point. But I'm just saying, like, if you think 47,
That was good for Zach LaVine.
47 and 8 quarters.
That's
He's not on the
cool.
same
I'm just
level.
going with James Harden. He's the best shooting guard in basketball.
One's an MVP candidate, the other
one
is
is the MVP, reigning MVP, about to be 2-time MVP. So I'm just tossing out there. James Harden, he's amazing. I know he couldn't shoot from three until this last game, but in that last game, he dropped 58 points, people.
Is it that impressive, though? I mean, yes.
I'm going to throw things at you, Sean. Every week we have the same argument. Look.
I don't know. I just think that there's other guys that like...
The other guys do deserve love, which is why I appreciate what you're doing in yours for your wet boy, or your post-wet boy segment.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just James Harden. He's amazing. Give him credit.
I think that the 39 points is something that, over the 3 games is something impressive. It's really, if he didn't have the 58, though, he wouldn't be a wet boy, right?
He's going to average 36 points in the season.
But if he didn't have the 58, he wouldn't be a wet boy, right?
Probably not, because his past 2 shooting performances were 1 of 11 from 3 and 0 of 10 from 3. So that would have made it pretty difficult for me to justify.
But really, how wet boyish are you if you sit out the Warrior game?
He was hurt, and he came back and played hurt again.
The team beat the Warriors without him. I mean, to me, not MVP, because you're not valuable if your team can beat the Warriors without you.
Yeah, so, I mean, let's look at Markelle Fultz and the Magic. Markelle Fultz is not valuable.
Yep, there you go.
Anyways, let's move into wet boy. I think that there's going to be no complaints on this one. Yes, he was 1 and 2 this week, but Karl-Anthony Towns is a goddamn monster. 37.7 points, which will round up to 38. 18.7 boards a game. He had 4 assists, 1.3 blocks, 3 turnovers, shot 60% from the field, 47% from 3, and a good old 67% from the free throw line. But I mean, you look at Karl-Anthony Towns, I think we sleep on him because of Jokic, because of Embiid. But Karl-Anthony Towns deserves respect. He's a guy that is extremely efficient on the offensive end. He is so talented and gifted when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. And yes, he doesn't have that great aggressiveness. He can block shots. He's near 2 a game this year. But he's not a great defender.
No.
But I think we overlook that too much because he is just so dominant on the offensive end. And putting up 38, 19, 4 is something that cannot be scoffed at. And Karl-Anthony Towns deserves all the love. Also was in a car accident too, so hopefully feel better.
Post-car accident, he's actually played better.
So, no, I'm not going to say
So
that.
the tip of the day.
Don't get in a car accident. That's the tip of the day. Do not get in a car accident. It's not going to make you better at basketball. But we did have so many guys that we do want to give shout-outs to. First off, Mitchell Robinson in the past 3 games, 30 minutes per game, 76% from the field, 80% from the line. 11.7 boards, 4.3 blocks, and about 15 a game.
And averaging 6 fouls a game.
4.3. But still, he's averaging the same amount of blocks per game as personal fouls.
Yeah.
But he's been a goddamn monster.
He has.
New York got a great one, and we told y'all.
Yeah.
We put him at 15 in our last mock. We put him at 15 to the Wizards. He fell all the way to the second round. That was a big mistake.
Bet you the
by
Wizards
NBA.
regret that.
Oh, for sure. Could you imagine if John Wall was healthy, Bradley Beal was healthy, and Bradley Beal was healthy, and Mitchell Robinson was man down that 5 spot? Nasty.
Yeah. Give him a little more than Troy Brown Jr. maybe.
Yes. Next guy up is Brandon Ingram. He's averaging 28, 6, and 3 on 60% shooting, 58% from 3, and 73% from the line. You look at the Lakers; they are 1 and 3 in those games, but he has been something phenomenal in the past 4 games for the Los Angeles Lakers, extremely turning it on. Blake Griffin deserves a shout out there, 2 and 1. 34% from the field, which is why he wasn't a wet boy, but 40% from 3. Also, 19 points, 7 boards, 7 assists. He did have a triple-double, 2010 and 10 against the Pacers. Trae Young is probably the biggest one, probably the biggest snub for most people, not getting a wet boy. You have to look at him from the 23rd on, 36 points per game, 10.5 assists, 46% from the field, 50% from 3, and 90% from the line. Apparently, I did say something in our mailbag that Trae Young wasn't having like some scoring performances or something. I mentioned Trae Young scoring, and he drops 47 or 49 last night against the Bulls. I'm surprised Ricky didn't go with him. Kemba Walker also deserves some love. I'm telling you, there's 2 more. There's so many.
It was
guys
a week of amazing performances.
This is why I said we should have given out 2 wet boys each.
It's not the game. 28 points per game for Kemba Walker.
We've
5
changed
assists,
the game so much.
3 steals.
Not really.
47% from
we've made adaptations, but go on.
47% from the field,
Name
35% from the 3, and 91% from the line. Kemba Walker had a phenomenal 4 games, 1 and 3 though. And then Tobias Harris, the last one, 2 and 1. The 76ers were. He played 37.9 minutes a game, 60% from the field, 45% from 3, 92% from the line, 7 boards, 2 assists, and good old 27 points for Toby. And those are our wet boys and our honorable mentions.
Yeah, it's
That's a lot.
pretty busy week.
Do
Do you love basketball post All-Star break? Like,
Yeah.
this is just, we're getting high quality now.
I'm shocked that Trae Young didn't get that. Ricky, why didn't you go with Trae Young?
Because I called
He called his shot.
last Saturday.
Literally.
Zach LaVine.
But
Hours
Trae
after-
Young was better.
Hours after finishing our podcast, he called his shot a week in advance. Man has cojones.
It's not that impressive.
He's got cojones.
I don't know. I think that Trae Young deserves it. And I will ask this question.
The real question is why didn't I go with Lauren Markkinen? That's the real question.
No, it's not. The question that I want to ask out before we
Lauren
get into
Markkinen.
the question I want to throw out there before we get into the fantasy stuff is: does Trae Young have a shot at the Rookie of the Year?
0.
Why? If he continues
it's already
this,
been decided.
if he continues
if
this,
he continues to average what, like 30 something, yeah. If he averages
36 and 10?
yeah, sure, he can be Rookie of the Year. Do you think he's going to?
no.
Then that's your answer.
I mean, he's got a shot.
Luka's going to continue putting up 20, like 7 and 5 for the rest of the year, no problem.
20 and 7 and 6.
He went up to 6.
20.9. So he's actually at
5.7.
21. He's 20.9, 7.3, 5.7 on 43, 35.
And Jalen Brunson's playing really well with
72.
him. I like that now.
Yeah,
So.
Jalen Brunson's a sleeper too.
Hey, as long as Trae Young is like battling him for the Rookie of the Year, it makes
think-
the trade worth it.
That's the thing is like, I'm really curious to see who the Hawks get because right now we went from like Trae Young start of the season shooting absolute trash percentages, like garbage. Now, if you look at him, I think it was like from January 1st on, like he's actually pretty good quality. I mean, defensively, he's still god awful, but at least it's close.
We never said he was
We
gonna
never
be a
expected
defensive
him to be
maestro.
defensive.
No, we said he was going to be the worst defender in the NBA.
From 2019, from January 1st, 21.9 points per game, 8.4 assists, shooting 43% from the field, and 39% from
Yeah,
three.
that's
and 84% from line. So he's been fantastic.
His percentages picked up a lot starting the year.
And only four turnovers a game, so 2-to-1 turnover to assist ratio. Anyways, let's jump into the big news. I kind of teased it a little bit.
Yeah, the biggest of news.
We're in first place.
Hot damn.
101 points. We are in first place in the Fast Break Fantasy League.
Thanks, Trae Young.
Shout out to Trae Young. Shout out to Tobias Harris. Shout out to Russell Westbrook. Shout out to Blake Griffin.
Malcolm Brogdon too, right?
Shout out to Mitchell Robinson.
And
Shout out
Mitchell.
to Malcolm
There you
Brogdon.
go.
Shout out to Otto Porter.
Oh,
And shout out to Malik Beasley as well. Our team's loaded.
This is
fucking
good.
loaded.
Did we know this? Did we know we were gonna be this good? No,
No, because we were
I thought we were gonna be
garbage.
Like early in the season, I was like, "Oh dear God, we're gonna be garbage."
We're
this
like
year.
we were like floating 7th and 8th.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sean,
we were
I
garbage.
give you credit. You have been playing the waiver wire like a goddamn maestro.
Thank you. But here's the thing: Russ was a draft pick.
Yep.
Trey Young was a draft pick. I think Otto Porter was a draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Brogdon
he
was a
was
draft pick.
because he's efficient.
Blake was a draft pick. Drummond was a draft pick. Toby
Mm-hmm.
was a draft pick. So the core of our team was the 7 players,
Yeah.
all draft picks.
Nice.
DeMarcus as well. We picked up Torian Prince. We picked up Mitchell Robinson. We picked up Beasley.
Yeah.
Picked up Danny Green. That was it. Everyone else, I'm pretty sure, has been a guy from our team.
Well done, guys. Well done.
From our draft. So you were also a part of the draft. So
I know. I just like
pat
saying
yourself
well
on
done,
the back.
everybody.
We got that young. We got that good. What's it called? That good sleeper pick in Otto Porter in the 6th round.
I like how the only thing we're still trashing is field goal percentage and free throw percentage.
Yeah, right now we're 4th in field goals made, field goal percentage. We are still. Hey, I will say we haven't fallen. We've had 5 points in those categories since then. But yeah, we are now
Monsters
9th
and everything else.
Yeah, 9th in field goal percentage and free throw percentage. 3-pointers made, we are 2nd. 3-point percentage, we are 3rd. Rebounds, we are 1st. Assists, we are 3rd. Steals, we are 2nd. Blocks, we are 3rd. And points, we are 3rd. We have 101 total points.
3-point lead?
101 points, and Kyle Craig is 3 points behind us in 2nd place. And if we look at his team, because that's the team that's been near first, he's been dealing with injuries. He has Drew, Joe Harris, Bogdan, LeBron, Jared Allen, Eric Gordon, Aaron Gordon, Rudy Gobert, Serge, D. Wade, De'Aaron Fox, Rocco, and Jeff Green. So
Rocco just got recalled today.
Jeff Green's been iffy, but he hasn't been bad.
Yeah.
Eric Gordon, injury concerns. So I think we can probably edge him out from here on out.
I hope so.
But thank you for all the help throughout the fantasy league. Hopefully we can maintain 1st place. And shout out to everybody who's in the league and still participating. We appreciate you guys' contributions. Final thoughts.
Gotta get my Starberries at the end of this year, baby.
Oh yeah, if we win them, we
get Starberries.
The winner gets Starberries. Do we all have to get Starberries, or can you just
I'm
get
not.
Starberries?
I'm cool with just me getting Starberries.
I hope we have to pick out. Go on if you want to. Go to Starberry's website and pick out a color for Dave. Pick out a colorway for the Stephon Marbury shoes for Dave to pick. I think there was a pink one, and I think you would look absolutely fantastic.
God damn.
It was turquoise and pink.
Okay.
The Sprinter turquoise and pink ones. Ooh, or the Kids Suburban Elite.
I can't wear kids. I've got large feet. It's not going to work out. If they make
But
kids
if you
in
look
12s.
but if you look at the Kids Suburban Elite, they're pretty dope.
All right, Rich, pull up. Damn,
But
that
anyways,
basketball's pretty cool.
we'll wrap up this podcast, at least for
Talking
the
about
segment. I don't know when you say
those,
podcast. We'll wrap up the
So we're
segment.
talking high tops or low
Look
tops?
at those.
Yeah, the Suburban
Kids Suburban
Elites.
Elites.
The ones that light up.
If they can make that big enough for me, I'm absolutely in.
The ones that light up, yeah. Just get 12 and a half C. I don't know what that means. Get 7. They're 4 pounds?
They got lights in them, man.
Jesus Christ. I'd rip my shoes. I'd rip those shoes in half. Come on. Get the kids. Get the light up
You
pink kids.
Zion Williamson those shoes?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Zion Williamson, those Paul George.
I think I would rock the slates, the Starberry 3 slate.
No, I think
No,
you
I'm
should
going
get
the
the
pink
sprinters.
metallics.
The Sprinter. You guys see the Sprinters?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what you should get. The pink metallic or the Sprinters. Those are the ones you should get.
All right, we'll see.